it gets worse. Yesterday, I did a dedicated video going over the downward spiral of Love and Deepspace, how Chinese players were sending them cow dung, funeral chrysanthemums, curse banners, and ritual items, specifically to the Paper Games and Infold office, with millions of people unfollowing them across social media, with millions of negative comments being left, hating on the game, hating on the character. Suffice it to say, people are livid. Players are so unbelievably upset. This is a level of insanity I don't think I've ever seen. Now, the Love and Deepspace team did tweet something out, giving free polls supposedly here as an apology. The tweet is quite long, but if you scroll down, wait, hold on. So it looks like this tweet accumulated 2.6 million views. That is unbelievable. And then you can see here translated analysis of the reply by Chinese female. This has 1,300 likes. Let's take a look. Infold finally responded. Here's what they actually said. Quick note. If you navigate on over to the Love and Deepspace subreddit, you'll see threads like this. They hooked us with quality at launch and it's only gone downhill since. I'm very concerned from what I heard coming out from the Chinese side of things. Things have severely escalated in the last 24 hours and this has me worried. The issue isn't Valko, it's that the game is already stale and unrewarding and adding a sixth character doesn't fix that. Thanks, Infold. I hate it. New character and home updates. That's it. A last minute stop to the Silas and Caleb fans with a screenshot promising a main story update shoved in last minute because you got your butt handed to you. No battle updates, no new diamond farming. Would it have been so hard to give us a new glint of updates? This has to be the most unimpressive live stream so far. My favorite part was when they played Valko's trailer twice and the kitchen trailer twice. Like, okay. I also gathered some tweets from our viewers that left comments on our video that we're gonna go over as well. But let's go ahead here first and foremost and take a look at their quote-unquote apology and see what the girls themselves are saying. 50,000 formal complaints, 2 million comments under a single post, multiple national media reports, 735,000 followers lost across platforms, days of silence, then a producer letter. So this was actually submitted, I believe, June 27th. That was 2 days ago. This was actually submitted the day of this happening. You can only imagine how much worse it's gotten. The way information about Valko was presented did not give sufficient consideration to your expectations and concerns. They know they're not sorry for what they did. They're sorry that you reacted this way. The development team has committed to or continued to grow since the game's launch. 300 people generating 78% of total company revenue per their own GDC 2026 disclosure, growing to where? Damn. Enclosed, Deep Space Wish times 10 and Empyrean Wish times 10, so they're like 10 polls each. 50,000 complaints, 2 million comments, national media coverage, 735,000 followers garnered. Their offer, 20 polls. 20 polls, please. Hopefully this is enough to come back. Page 2. 5 love interests exist. Only 2 were named. The letter is specifically named Caleb and Silas for story continuation. 5 love interests in the game, 2 mentioned by name. When a company selectively reassures only the loudest fan bases, it's not making a promise to everyone, it's managing segments. This is how they keep us competing for scraps instead of standing together. They also wrote the stories, companionship, and future of every love interest will always remain an essential part of the long-term plans. This will not change for any reason. One love interest has gone over 500 days without a main story update since his debut. That is their commitment in practice. I actually, wow, now that I think about it, during the original thread that I read yesterday, they noted it had been over 500 days since a character actually obtained any main story updates. That's wild for a game that is so heavily focused on like individual husbando interactions and engagement. They really do not do a great job of managing their characters. Everything they carefully avoid. The letter did not address a single structural issue, how the resources are distributed and why the highest revenue product seems under-resourced, whether banner mechanics will actually be reformed so players can avoid unwanted pulls, making the banners, making the gacha better for their players. No, how do you think they make as much money as they do? Why customer service remains broken for all players regardless of how much they've supported the game. I mean, valid. why Valko contains recycled animations, expressions, and design elements from every existing love interest. Well, that is where their money's going, right? Not into the game, not into the characters, into their pockets, and how they continue to boost the money that they make and that they pocket by reusing animations, expressions, and design elements from already existing characters. Players paid for unique characters. Every love interest was harvested to build the Stix. If Valko's trailer gave you butterflies, pause and ask, was it him? Or was it pieces of someone you already loved that you recognized without realizing? I don't know how valid that is, but if it is, if that is legit, then god damn, okay. Before you accept this letter, consider these. At least they responded. It's a start. They didn't respond because they heard you. They responded because 735,000 people unfollowed, and the falling revenue forced them to. A response driven by data is damage control, not dialogue. Accept this start, and there will never be a next step. 20 polls is something. Infold generated over $800 million in 2024. 20 polls is worth roughly 15 bucks. That's not sincerity. That's the minimum cost to get you to log in. Damn, whoever did this is savage. Valko was always planned. Planned does not mean well executed. No one said a new character cannot exist. There was zero buildup, recycled assets, production capacity used as an excuse while resources went elsewhere. Coming soon doesn't excuse anything. That's very true. Like, characters are coming, right? Like, Wuthering Waves does a great example of this. Characters are coming, but the characters tend to have like unique animations, unique idle animations, unique expressions, unique attack animations, unique abilities. Like there's so much uniqueness to them, and Wuwa isn't the only game that does this. It's a game that I actively play, so I'm using this as reference before people start saying, why are you using Wuwa here? Because it fits, and it's a great reference point. With this, you knew another character was coming. Another husbando was coming at some point. They have been working on this character for God knows how long. Months, years at this juncture. They had so much time to actually perfect him, to polish him, and to make him something that players would want, to build up a story for, to integrate him into the game, to properly allow for a sufficient amount of build-up to be had, so when he's released, people accept and people are happy with it. But you didn't. From what I've read online and from what I've heard from people that do actively play the game, that just wasn't the case. They just kind of like dropped him in with no build-up whatsoever and like, here's a dude to pull for, and some people are okay with that, but a lot of people evidently were not. I don't mean to interrupt the video, but I need to take a moment here to thank all my incredible patrons over on Patreon whose support continues to allow for me to do regular videos like this every single day on this channel. Thank y'all so much, including our YouTube channel members. You guys mean the world to me. So do you guys as viewers as well. Now, without further ado, let's continue. I like Valko, and that's okay. It is. Liking Valko and holding Infold accountable are not contradictory, but if you love him, you should be the most concerned. The way they treated the first 5 is exactly how they'll treat him once the next one arrives. Every time we accept the minimum, they learn the bar can go lower. I mean, true. This, goddamn, it's incredible. Like, their subreddit is absolutely overflowing with hate. Twitter is overflowing with hate. I mean, like, I actually made a tweet that is sitting at what? 582 likes, 60,000 views. This is only going up. This is only getting worse. This is only going to reach more people. More people are going to be upset. More people are going to see what they're doing. Hopefully, they react accordingly. And hopefully, Infold, Paper Games here, take a minute to reflect on the damage that they've done and try to figure out a way to actually fix it before it's too late. Because at this rate, from everything you're seeing, there's nothing but a downward spiral unfolding, happening right now. Now, let's go ahead here and take a look at a few of the comments that our community, our viewers who are actual active players, are saying. Playing the game since release, and the way some act is really concerning. They are completely delusional, claiming that the character are their real husbands and that they're in the right to do whatever they want. Add to that coming massively onto Twitter to insult global players, talking about us like we're just crap poor, using racist, homophobic, and other insults I wouldn't even dare to write here. They're completely hysterical and childish. Some people are probably complaining in ways that are more respectful, but these players are completely crazy. Yeah. Don't put us in the same boat as the hysterical snowbreak crazies. Yeah, exactly. And like, even when I did my snowbreak videos documenting everything, I said it's not everyone. Like, I know so many female content creators that love Snowbreak. I mean, as an example here, Teramu is a good friend of mine. She's a VTuber. She very popular, and she noted here what they did to Snowbreak. I told my Snowbreak community to never fight back, as I always believe in karma. There are plenty of women that love Gooner gacha games that are targeted at men, targeted at, oh my god, it's gone up 14 likes in a minute, literally a minute. Oh my god, this tweet's gonna blow up, isn't it? Oh my god, I can already imagine the heat I'm gonna get for making this tweet, dude. 107 retweet. Oh my god, they're gonna attack me like crazy. They're gonna try to crucify me for speaking the truth, unfortunately. But yeah, like it's not all women. It's some. It's the crazy ones. That's it. Don't criticize or lump women into the delusional crazies that are attempting to take down gacha games that are, you know, specifically catered to guys that happen to like gooning. There are plenty of girls that do. My wife, Mrs. Stix, is one of them that also goon to both male and female characters in gacha games. As someone who plays Love and Deepspace on and off, the community is toxic as hell. I get the complaints, but at the same time, I feel like the ones going to this extent are the rabid fans who already had a very unhealthy obsession with the game in the first place. Yeah. They're also the ones that are part of the Wuwa, Genshin, Star Rail, Zenless, Enfield, NTE, TOF, Nikkei. Like, every community has these crazy people. Absolute crazy people. The Chinese players are insane. I think a lot may have body dysmorphia in a form of psychosis. It was the Chinese players calling the Valko character ugly and too Western when all the characters look a bit Western. Asian people don't have blonde hair and blue eyes. But they're still complaining and talking about how primitive he is and how he sits on the chair with his shoes on. And I did see this. I saw Chinese players claiming that the character looked too Western and that it was due to his jaw, like the sharpness of his jaw. I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of the guys in the game do also look quite Western. I guess this guy looked slightly more Western. Wow. As a long-term player, I love that we're getting Valko, and I don't agree with the extremists, but they brought this on themselves as a company. But they don't even communicate. They don't care about the issues we bring up, being a player with darker skin and the cards having bad lighting for us, and the way that they are so slow with the updates. Even the live stream was just repeated Valko content and a kitchen update. Nothing about Caleb or Silas's main story, missing content, nothing about the battle mechanics and the diamond farming. They're just digging their graves. I've held back my spending. Bravo. That is how you deal with this. That's genuinely how you deal with this. You don't spend. Your wallet speaks. Don't spend, and they will be forced to listen. I started playing the game right when the wedding banner started. I wasn't there when Caleb and Silas were at it. I stayed away from the fandom, but this, of course, came to my feed. It's so unnecessary and toxic. It's actually disgusting how these fans are acting like goddamn children. The community's gotten very toxic. I read somewhere that one of the writers of Silas or something aren't working there anymore, and that's probably why we get no more updates for him. It's just a game. Understand that these games require oh my god, they don't care about us players. I've been playing the game since day one. The community can be a lot. Infold isn't innocent. 2 years haven't updated the stories of the character-specific stories of the two main characters. Less cards, more money spent to get lesser cards. It's a cycle. The lack of content is shocking for how much they make. Like, it's crazy. There is an overabundance of hate now for this game. And like the sad thing is, it's not a bad game, and it caters to an audience, like an audience that doesn't really get catered to, or that doesn't really have much else to play. But oh my god, 22 more likes. Jesus. But at the end of the day, like, they know this, and they know that they can take advantage of and abuse their players in whatever way they want. And it's sad. It really is. But like I said, if you want to fix this and you want to be treated better, you either quit, you stop spending money, or you just have to admit that that's the reality that you're existing in. I think this is very sad to see. But at the same time, they themselves have fostered this community. They have fostered this unhealthy relationship between player and character. So you reap what you sow. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment, so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you are not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.